please welcome Blane Freest of Share the Sizzle. He's going to do some teaching with you about that. He did rock me. Hey. Good.
All right. We on? Okay. Oh, can I?
Do you need a clicker?
Yes, please. All right. So, again, my name is Blane, and my company is Share the Sizzle. So what I want you to do is I want you to get an empty piece of paper out of your notebook. I want you to write Blane, and that is spelled B-L-A-N-E. There is no I in my first name, at sharethesizzle.com. And you may have heard of this guy named Ogilvy, who in the 50s created something. He basically rewrote marketing for the world, literally. And his big thing was sell the sizzle, not the steak. And so this is kind of my modern riff on his genius. So what I want you to do first is, once you've got that written down, you put your pen down. I want you to sit back. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to get really present to what it's like being on stage. So just put yourself up on this stage with all these people that you don't know. Most of them you don't know. Just looking at you. All right, now you might notice that there's some cameras in the room. And that those cameras are going out live on webcast. And that's totally wide open to the whole world. And I want you to think about all those millions of people out there that you don't know, nameless, faceless hordes of people who are judging you. And they're saying things like, look at that guy's hair, it's ridiculous. And they're blogging about you, and they're noting, they're texting, and there's all these horrible things that they're saying about you. I want you to get really present. I want you to find the feelings that you're having in your body. I want you to get really in tune to those. Now, I'm going to give you some statistics here in a few minutes about how important and how useful video is, but I really want you to get present to that fear that you might be feeling right now, or the dread. And then we're going to do a little exercise here. You ready? Everybody got that? The nameless, faceless millions out there who are judging you. All right, now, I don't care if you believe it or feel it right now. I want you to paste a big, giant smile on your face. The biggest, giantest smile that you can ever feel. Huge. Hit it. Now, I want you to get up on your feet, put your arms in the air and dance. Come on. Yeah, let's keep that smile on your face. Yeah. All right. Now while you're dancing, I want you to think of all the people that you're dancing with, and I want you to look at those people, and they're your friends. They're not the nameless, faceless millions and hordes. All right. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to get your energy moving a little bit. I came up with that while I was watching the last thing. That was not planned at all. I've never done anything like that before. So I hope your blood is moving and you're having a little bit of fun right now. All right. But what I really want you to get out of that little exercise is how easy it is to change your mindset. I mean, that was a couple of minutes, right? So I'm hoping that you're really present to the terror that you can have. And then instantly, with pasting, even if it was fake, right? A giant smile on your face. So, and the way to do that, there's some things to do that. And the number one way for you to change that mindset and to really connect with people who are strangers is through your passion. And so you see some businesses up here, and you probably will recognize some of these businesses. These are all either current or past clients of mine. These are all people that I've worked for. In fact, one of these is a big bank. In fact, by a couple different measures, the largest investment bank on the planet. I was in-house there for 6 years. My last 3 years there, my first 3 years there, I did all their trainings, all the new hire trainings for investment bankers. And my last 3 years there, I did all the largest thing. Basically anything the CEO did, I was there. I was his producer. And there were a few things that I learned there. Some of them were really mindset change. I'm like, dance my butt off. I'm like breathing heavily. One of the big things was that these are all really nice, decent people. There were only 2 people in the 6 years I was there that I really thought were disgusting. Everybody else I thought were really amazing people, but they were totally aligned differently than me. The other thing I found is that there's a thing called fiduciary responsibility. And all of these bankers, they take this oath. They literally take an oath of fiduciary responsibility. And what that means is that they take an oath to take care of your money. And what that's come to mean lately is that they take care of your money by squeezing out every kind of profit as quickly as they possibly can. How do they do that? They've got the power. They already own most of the money. If you guys look at the graphs over the last 20, 30 years, basically since 1980, of the distribution of wealth in this country, it's off the charts. I mean, it's a 70% curve. It's ridiculous. So the people who own the money, they write the laws. You guys, your legislators do not write the laws. The companies write the laws and give them to your legislators, and they sponsor them for you. That's how it works. So they control the whole thing. And so what that did was that really pissed me off. So eventually I got really sickened by that whole process, and I left, and I started my company. I have a production company called DDM Production. But what I really love is taking all of that marketing expertise that I got with the big boys, working with some of the biggest in the world, and using that and offering it to you guys. How many are entrepreneurs out here? Excellent. I love you. I also want to laud you, and I want to acknowledge you guys, because who is it historically since the 1920s? What group of people in this country, in the United States of America, every time we have a recession, what group of people leads us out of recession? Every single time, including this one now. Entrepreneurs and small businesses. You guys are the heroes of our country. Give yourselves a hand. I freaking love you. All right, so my whole thing is I am a practitioner of Zen. I also teach Tibetan Buddhism. I have a whole other sideline, but I'm really into the mindset thing. I've been teaching. I'm a certified teacher of a number of different kinds of meditation, and I've been doing that for over 10 years. Kind of interestingly, as I was dovetailing out of the corporate thing, I was practicing my meditation. So mindset is huge. It's everything. All right, so let's get into this. First off, all you entrepreneurs out there, who are you? You're the chief marketing officer of your company. You're everything, but you're the chief marketing officer. And what that means is that everywhere you go, everything you do, remain consistent. You guys have taken enormous risk. There is not one person in this room who doesn't have the drive and intellect and ability to go out and get a really, even in this horrible, 9, 10% unemployment, whatever it is today. I think it might be down to 7.9. Every single one of you, if you really wanted to, you'd go out and you'd get a job, and you'd probably make at least a nice, comfortable, safe middle-class income, and might even have health care. Because God knows who's going to have health care tomorrow. You guys can do that, but no, you've chosen to take this enormous risk to become business people on your own. So stay consistent with that. You are that. And when we're out on the beach, when we're doing the party, you're going to be in your swimsuit, but you're still going to be the chief marketing officer. You never know where that conversation, I have had 5-figure jobs come out of a conversation on the subway. Businesses really do happen on napkins. You make deals on napkins and handshakes. I do it all the time. So just remember that you keep in that mindset that you are there, and how you move, how you talk to people, everything is consistent with you being your chief marketing officer. Okay, so my platform, I call it Marketing Mastery Jumpstart 4.0. Very quickly, what 4.0 means to me is, again, basically everything that I say is completely made up. It's all bullshit. You don't have to believe it. Take some notes and then curl them up and throw them away. None of it means anything. But to me, 4.0 means basically is that 3.0 became the world of the app, right? So 2.0 was as websites became more animated. 3.0 became the map, the app, the mobile device. And now to me, 4.0, and this is what I'm really interested in, is taking the human element and putting it back in. So how do we take this massive appeal and the mass spectrum of the internet and the, almost 2 billion people that have mobile devices right now that are connected to the internet? How do you reach them and still remain consistent and authentic to you and your message? That's 4.0. That's the question, and that's what I believe I offer. I do it in 3 easy places. You identify your perfect client. And that's what you guys are doing. You're in the middle of that exercise right now. You clarify your story and you speak your purpose. And clarifying your story and speaking your purpose is all connected to your passion. I have something that I call, it's a trademark product called the Video Manifesto. So we take your elevator pitch, it's kind of, we start there and then we crank it up. We really get into what pisses you off and we do a manifesto. You can come out on my table there, you'll see several manifestos from a bunch of my clients. There's a few people in this room here who've done manifestos. The next thing is then you position yourself as the expert, because if you have taken the risk, if you have decided to start your company and you've positioned yourself started your business, you are the expert. You may not feel it most days, but again, paste that smile on until you feel it and then talk about it. And then get your message out and tell people. Maintain your authenticity and integrity, and the world will come to you. So, a few statistics. Google indexes over 50 billion web pages a day. That's 50 billion with a B. That's a lot. How do you not get lost in all of that? Since you probably all know that YouTube was purchased by Google in 2006. Since then, every major search engine ranks video content higher than written content. And there's ways to do that. Google is now playing with some are you familiar with the spiders? What Google does is they've got their spiders, they crawl all over the web and they look at written content and that's how they rank you, among other things. Google is actually developing video spiders right now. They say it's probably 2-3 years down the road. But until then, there is a way that you can take your videos and add text and make them more searchable. Every major search engine ranks video content higher. All right. If you're not video-centric in your marketing, you're working way too hard. You're already wearing every hat in your business. Let's make it a little easier for you. You get 100% plus increase in open emails. 4 times better click-through rate. You guys familiar with click-through rate? That's basically somebody opens an email, they click on the thing you want them to click on. 65% of buyers on the web purchase after watching a video. I know, do you guys know Zappos, Tony Hsieh? Guy's genius. I love him. He's a mad genius is what he is. If you go to his website, he has regular old people, his employees. He has some of the highest employee satisfaction in the world. They all have, just about every single pair of shoes that they sell has a little video attached to it, and it's done by his regular employees. They're awesome. It's people wearing the stuff. All right, a Forrester research study. People are 6 times more likely to convert a browser into a paying customer if you have video on your website. 20% of visitors will read a majority of text on a site, but 80 will watch the same content in the form of a video. And you are 50% more likely to be ranked on page 1 of Google if it has a video on it. All right, so there's a bunch of different kinds of marketing video. There's a video manifesto, I talked about that. There are training videos, we won't really get into that here. Testimonials. The power of the testimonial is extraordinary, and that's not just getting them, but giving them. What you're doing is you're trying to create community here. So give freely of your testimonials. That iPhone, all of you that have iPhones out there, an iPhone 4 and above is one of the best cameras that you could ever possibly imagine. So use that. You've got the tools. You have all of the tools to create high-definition video on you. Learn how to use it and do it right. Again, expert in the leader, in the history, and then video blogging is huge. And that should all be part of your platform. All right. Now, keep it short. I used to say when I started this business about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, the marketing side, Share the Sizzle, we used to say try to keep your videos under 3 minutes. Now I try to keep just about every video under 2.5 minutes. I hate getting over 2.5 minutes, and most of the time I try to keep them to 1.5 minutes. We are the short attention span culture, and our attention span is getting shorter, big time. I have a couple of worksheets, and you do the process. And then at the end of every single video, you want a compelling call to action. Don't ever forget the call to action. That's really, really important. That's what makes a nice, beautiful video into a real marketing video. And it needs to be very simple, and it needs to be one thing. If you're comfortable giving out your phone number, give out your phone number. Usually it's an email address, or it's click on the button right below this video. And then that button takes them to where you want them to be. All right, so these are the 3 pieces that I do, and as you'll notice, they're fairly short. The first 2 are appropriately done as self-shot videos. The 15 to 30 second VIT is something that you do, and it's to integrate with your social media. You can do it on your phone. You can do it very quickly outside. I call it a VIT, a video bit. You upload that to YouTube. From YouTube, you share it with all of your social media. Hi, social media person. I love doing this. This is like the 3rd time I've done it with her, and when I do this part, I eyeball her, because she's amazing. Ginger Snap works. She's right next to me out there, actually. And then the weekly update. The weekly update is an inserted video into your newsletter, and there's a few things that I want you to think about that. You want to make sure that the video is seen. What I do is I take a photograph, a still shot of the video, and I put it in. You do not want to embed video in your email, because a lot of email services will strip the video out. But a lot of times you can put a picture in and then put a hyperlink to the video on YouTube. So when you're doing your email, put a hyperlink in the video on YouTube. And that goes with your weekly newsletter, or your weekly update. You also want to make it sure that it's very close to the top, and they call it above the fold. So anything like open your normal email browser, you want to make sure that your eyes are in that first frame. People connect through your eyes. So you want to make sure that the people looking at that connect with your eyes. The other thing you want to do is in the subject line, this is what I always do, is I put in brackets and I write video in caps, and I also put the amount of time of the video. Because now everybody's doing video, right? But if it's 34 seconds, who doesn't have 34 seconds to watch a video? It's amazing. Keep it short and put the real time on there, and people will open it. And then there's a monthly newsletter. Now that, if you are skilled and have some decent equipment, that you can shoot yourself. I suggest that at least you work with a professional to help you set up templates so it's properly branded and you have a good template for it, and then it can work really well. I call it the monthly newsie, and that's basically your video blog. Couple of tips and tricks. You want to make sure that you've got lots of light, and you never want to do it in front of like a lit up window. You want to make sure that the light on your face is brighter than the light that's hitting you from behind. You want a decent microphone. The microphones on the iPhone are good, but you really need to be careful because they're wide open and they will take in a lot of outside noise. So you just want to be careful of that. You can also get an external microphone. With the iPhone 5, they've reconfigured the pin configuration with the new headphones. So you got to be careful. If you have an external microphone, you need to get an adapter for that. And again, we can talk about that later. I can dive into the geek stuff big time. And you want to look right into the camera lens. Now on an iPhone, you see the lens on the back. You want to use the camera that's facing away, because that camera is twice as good as the camera facing you. So you want to do some practice, and you want to do it so that when you're looking at the camera, the lens is in the lower left-hand corner. That will shoot it naturally upright. You can shoot it upside down, you can flip it over, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. You really don't want to deal with it. You want to make sure that you're looking right into that camera so that people connect with your eyes. You do not want to wear stripes. There's a thing called the moire effect. And the stripes, your shirt will dance, and you want to, especially with digital video, you want to avoid that. So solid colors, know your colors, make sure you're looking good. And then there's a thing called the rule of thirds. And I want you to think of this when you're watching TV. What you want to do is you want to split your screen in thirds this way and in thirds this way. You do not want to be centered. It's kind of boring. So what you do when you want it, and watch TV critically this way. You'll notice that the people that they want you to focus on are a third over and a third up. You want your eyes on that top horizontal line, and you want at least you don't have to be that extreme, but you want to be off center one direction or another. It looks very much more dramatic. It's way more interesting. Again, look at some of the video manifestos. That's how we shoot our manifestos. You'll see how they look. So, I'm going to tell you about something right now. It's my new media marketing program. Sorry, I'm running out of time. Again, for me to talk in 20 minutes is one of the most difficult things ever. So I have a program that does this. It's called the New Media Marketing. It's a 8 module program. So in this module, you start out with, I get nervous. I do this all the time. I just got nervous and completely lost my program. So what's that? Paste on the big old smile. So here we go. All right. So we start out with a coaching, and it's an hour long, so basically laying the platform. And then the modules consist of identifying your perfect client, getting the mindset manifesto. We go in deeply into how do you shoot your VIT, how do you properly upload it, the weekly. We do a tips and tricks module. We do a bunch of different modules. And what happens is you're delivered a module in video with accompanying worksheets, and then we have a coaching afterwards. That's the 8 pieces. So normally this program, and what I've done for Puerto Rico is I've decided that for Puerto Rico, I'm doing a mindset manifesto meditation. So after the first coaching where we talk about the mindset, I actually go and I record a guided meditation for you. It's going to be about 2 to 3 minutes long, and every time you speak, every time you get in the video, you listen to that, and it will get you centered and focused, and you'll have way more fun envisioning the real person, that ideal client, right through that camera lens. Okay? That's the trick. You're not looking at a piece of equipment. You are looking at that person that you love and who loves you. So I will record that and we'll deliver that for you. So it's a normal package of $29.97. The bonus is normally $500. That's a $34.97 bonus. What I'm going to do here for everybody that's attending, I'm going to give away one. So I'm doing a raffle at my table. I have a 4-question questionnaire back there. And if you come out, you fill out the questionnaire, you drop it in the box. Thursday night, I'm going to do a drawing. We're going to do it by video, and I'm going to announce it at my table on Friday who the winner is. And so there will be one winner in this group. Don't dawdle. Let it happen. And again, don't wait till Friday because you'll miss the drawing. All right? All right. So thank you all. I love you all. Come talk to me out back. I'll see you by the pool. And especially thanks Aman and Afreen, who have been massive champions of mine as I've started my company. So.